Hello everyone and welcome back. If you are new here then hello, my name is Zoe and this is my YouTube channel. Today we are doing another soft glam makeup look because they are my absolute favourites. Today we're doing a spring soft glam and I'm going to incorporate a little bit of colour in today's look as well because I'm really enjoying bright colours, so we're just going to get straight into it today. There's no messing about. I'm going to leave here what it's going to look like. I'm feeling like a nice fresh glowy skin but still like a glam skin, and then a bold lip with like barely anything on the eyes. We're not going to be doing any lashes today, so we're going to do this look with no lashes because I don't actually always wear false lashes, so I think it's nice to do some looks without. Plus my hay fever hates me at the moment, so I don't even think I can wear lashes today. All I've done so far is applied my skincare, so I'll show you what I've used because I want the skin today to be quite glowy. So the first thing that I did was spray this from, I think it's Superdrug's own brand skincare. It's the Hyaluronic Acid Facial Spritz. So I've sprayed that first. For moisturiser I've used the La Roche-Posay Toleriane Ultra Cream. I usually use this, but it's the Toleriane Ultra Soothing Fluid for face and eyes, but I picked up the wrong one last time I went in and I do prefer that to this, but this still works absolutely fine for me. So I'm going to start with skin today. I'm going to do things a little bit back to front because I'm feeling like doing it a little bit different. So I'm going to do my contour and concealer first before foundation. I don't know why, I just feel like doing it that way today. I'm first going to use the MAC Strobe Cream. This is in the shade Gold Light. Some of this on the back of my hand. I'm not going to use much, just a little bit, because a little bit of this does go a really long way. And I'm just going to take a little buffer brush, and I'm not going to pop this everywhere, just on the high points of my skin, so I'm just popping it sort of on the tops of my cheekbones to add a little bit of an extra glow to the skin. This is quite hydrating as well, so it's nice to use like just on its own if you're not wearing any foundation. So I'm actually going to start with concealer next. So the first thing that I'm going to use is the Instant Anti-Age, I always call this the eye eraser, the eraser eye. I don't know why. It's the Instant Anti-Age Eraser Concealer. I swear this has had so many different names, from Maybelline, and this is the neutralizer shade, so this is number 6. I'm going to pop this under my eye, and you could build this up as well, so once I've blended it out I might have to apply a bit more. And then I'm going to blend that in, so I'm just going to use a damp beauty blender. If you can see like any marks on my neck, I had an allergic reaction to something a few days ago, and all my neck sort of swelled up and I'd got like this massive rash, and they've just turned into like red patches, but it is going down now, so I have been trying not to put anything on my neck. I haven't self-tanned or anything, just gonna let it calm down. So if you see like any patches on my neck, then that is why. This is similar to the way that we did the foundation and everything on the Scott Barnes video with Tati, so I just feel like doing it a little bit different today. Sometimes I feel like I do my makeup literally the same in every video, but that's just the way that I know how to do makeup. So okay, so now we've used that, I'm going to use a little bit of my Makeup Revolution concealer. This is C6. I'm just going to use a bit more of this under my eyes. We are going to be using foundation today. I just felt like doing this a little bit different. Okay, and then just patting some all over, just to kind of give you a little bit of a blank canvas. We're not going to be doing too much with shadow today, so just a thin layer just to sort of cancel out any redness or any little veins that you can see. Okay, and then I'm going to start blending this concealer in, and I'm going to blend it sort of back like I usually do, and then I'll just quickly go over my lid as well, just to blend out any excess, because we don't want too much on the eyes today. But now we're going to do a little bit of contouring. I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Beautiful Bronze, which I absolutely love. I'm going to use the Real Techniques contour brush, and I'm just rubbing some into the back of my hand first because this is quite pigmented, so you don't really need a lot of this. And it will look a little bit strange because obviously we're doing this with no foundation, so just onto your skin, so it will look a little bit strange. But we are going to be putting foundation over the top, so I'm just going to apply it in all my usual places, and I do like to bring it up onto the cheeks as well, So it acts as a little bit of a bronzer, just warms me up a little bit. I don't really wear my hair down that much at the moment because I've really got quarantine hair, so my roots are quite bad at the moment. I do sometimes disguise them with eyeshadow, so I'll have to start doing that, but it's just easier to just keep putting your hair up at the minute. And I'm just going to flick some over my nose as well. And I'm just taking a little bit of that contour and just contouring around my lips as well. And I do feel like it does make a big difference. It's so much easier when it comes to lips if you like to overline yours like I do. It's a lot easier to do that later on if you contour them first. I'm also just going to blend a little bit while I'm here, just in my socket, and then just flick it out towards my brow. Only just a tiny bit because I don't want to do any other shadow apart from just like a cream shadow I think today. So just to create a little bit of definition, just so we don't have to do it later on. Okie dokie. Let's move on to foundation. So for foundation, I'm going to use the Pro Glow because I do want this to be quite glowy. This is in 204, and then I've just mixed in 2 drops of the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops in G20, just to give it a little bit of extra coverage, that's all. And I'm going to start sort of around the chin area that hasn't got any product there yet, and then I shall just blend a bit all over everywhere else. And you can see that even though we put the foundation over the top, it does leave like a subtle light contour and bronze underneath. And then I am going to go over my lips as well today because I'm going to be doing quite a bold lip and I do want to overline them, so don't take me for going over them. So I'm just going to apply a tiny little bit more of that cream contour just to kind of warm up my cheeks a bit, more as like a cream bronzer this time than a contour product. Okay, so that's pretty much all I'm going to do for the skin. I am going to do just a little bit more of an illuminator over the top, so I'm going to use the Barry M Liquid Chrome Drops. I'm only going to use a little bit because again, a little bit of this does go a really long way. And then I'm just going to pop some just on these very high points because we are going to be applying highlighter, of course, later on. I do usually like to apply this first because I feel like it does apply a little bit better when it's mixed with something like a moisturiser or something. Just a little tiny bit, just on like the centre of the forehead. So just to set the centre of my face, because I want it to be glowy, I don't want it to look like sweaty. So I'm just going to set the centre with this powder. This is the Ben Nye, the Cameo powder. There will be a few creases on me today because my eyes are so dry because of the hay fever. And then I do like to do the centre of my chin because I don't like that to look too shiny. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Milani Baked Bronzer, but this one's a darker shade to what I usually wear. So I usually go for the one I use every day. This is number 4, which is Glow. And then this one just looks a little bit more tan. This one is number 5. I absolutely love these bronzers because they do add that glow and they are so blendable as well. Because we haven't set the outer perimeter, I'm just kind of patting it on rather than rubbing it around because that will then move the foundation underneath, which we don't want. So I'm just going to pat it in, especially like around my hairline, sort of flick it back into my hairline. For my blush, I'm going to use from the Conspiracy palette Pigment, which is this one right there. And I absolutely love this as a blush, and we're going to be doing quite a bold pink lip today, so I think this will look nice. And I'm just going to sort of press it onto the apples of my cheeks and then just blend it back into the bronzer. Let's move on to the eyes now. I'm going to do really simple like nude eye. So I'm first going to use a cream shadow. This is the Revlon Colour Stay cream shadow in the shade 730, and it's like a very pale sort of nude champagne shade, but it's not too glittery, it's not like too golden, it's not too silver, it's like a nice in between. And I'm just gonna buff this all over my eye. There's no powder on the eye at all, there's only the creams that we've applied, so this will blend absolutely fine, and you'll still keep that little bit of definition that we did with the bronzer underneath. literally all over, past my crease, all the way up to the brow. Over the top of that, before this dries completely down, I'm going to apply this pigment over the top from Peaches and Cream in the shade Nude. I'm going to use a different brush. I'm just going to use a clean brush for this. Again on a fluffy blender, and I'm just going to dust this over the top. It's pretty much the same of colour, but in pigment form rather than in cream form. I'm just kind of going in the centre, back and forth, and then working my way up. I'm going to go all the way up to the brow. That way you can just build it up to the sort of shine that you want. Because it's quite a neutral shade, it's not sort of too golden glittery, it just looks so nice. I'm not going to do any liner or anything. The only thing that I'm going to do is just line my top waterline. If your lashes are more fair like mine, because I am a natural redhead, the roots of my lashes are so light, but I feel like this kind of helps darken them a little bit. So I do just like to line under here, just so I don't have to do a line on the top. I feel like it just makes the roots of my lashes just look a little bit darker. And I can definitely tell a difference. I don't know whether you can see in the camera, but it does make a big difference. So before we apply mascara, I'm just going to brush through my lashes just to make them all separated, and then when I do mascara it will make them nice and fluffy. So just give your lashes a nice brush through, and then I'm also going to give them a quick curl as well because my lashes are so straight. It's ridiculous. And then I'm going to do a couple of coats of mascara. This is the Lush Paradise from L'Oreal. And then underneath the eye, I'm just going to run the tiniest bit of that bronzer that we used, the Milani one, just on the very outer corner. I don't like to not wear anything underneath my eyes really because they are so creasy. Doing this just helps hide the under eye creases. And then I'm going to use a nude liner in my waterline. So this is from Zoeva. Got a bit of mascara on the bottom as well. Okay, so now let's move on to highlighters. So I'm going to use two. I'm going to use this Doll Beauty. This has got Shine Bright and Like a Diamond in, and I'm not sure which one is which. I'm going to use the lighter one first, just to highlight my inner corner. Then I'm going to use the more gold one on my cheeks first. And I'm going to really work it in because the more you work your highlighter in, the better that it looks. I'm just going to get here on basically where we applied the MAC Strobe Cream underneath and where we did that like extra bit of illuminator earlier. And then just with my finger, I'm going to take the lighter one and just on the very high points, I'm just going to work this in. And all we need to do now is lips. So I want to do a really bright lip. So the first thing that I'm going to use is this Illamasqua pencil. I've had this for ages, so I'm not sure whether they still have this shade, but it's in the shade Temptress. And then over the top of that, I'm going to apply this liquid lipstick from Me Cosmetics in the shade number 3. Okay guys, so that completes today's Spring Soft Glam. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really like how it turned out, even with no lashes as well. I think it just doesn't matter because you've got the bold lip to kind of make the statement. So I really hope you liked it too. Let me know if you did down in the comments. Please give it a big thumbs up as well, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!